All right, you guys, yay. Welcome to our In the Pink Thursday night team call. So stinking excited, you guys, to have one of my new best friends. Come on. So I've got Datha Whitfield here, guys, who's a Diamond Ambassador, who I had the pleasure of meeting through the Align retreat in Florida with Brooke Hemingway. And absolutely, I've been following Datha for a while and watched her journey to Diamond kind of from afar. And so to be able to really get to know her and to hear her story firsthand and to just fall in love with her and her way and her just humility and all the things. So I just am so grateful, Datha, that you have given us your time. It shows, again, you guys, the beautiful thing that we have in Plexus, the One Plexus, where we're, no matter where you are, teams, you just give, because we want everybody here to grow and be successful and be inspired. And so I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna let Datha just kind of tell us a little bit about her story and how, just give us some awesome tips on what to do.
Okay, I think I'm unmuted.
You are. Hello, darling.
Okay, I am a true Southern girl. I'm not sure where all of you guys are from. Dawn, you're from Texas, right?
No, we're all mostly from Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, I had that wrong. But Dawn probably doesn't know this, but the very first convention that I went to, I met her in like the taco lounge room. I don't know if you remember that I was a brand new Emerald and they had set up this taco room lounge thingy.
Oh my gosh, was it in Vegas?
I think it was in Vegas. Yes. So it's a long time ago. But like Dawn said, my name is Datha Whitfield.
Datha.
It's a long A, but that's fine. That's fine. Can you imagine with a name like mine? I get everything. And usually if I know I'm never going to see the person again, I don't even correct them. But I hope I get to see all of you and I hope I get to meet you in person. So if I do, I want you to know my name is Datha. And when we were in Mastermind and Dawn and I got to talk more than we ever have, and it still wasn't long enough, there was a gal there named Jaja. And I was so glad she was there because I'm usually the one with a very unusual name. But Jaja, I think, had me beat because that was.
I think I got her name wrong every time also. Oh yeah. So hard. Don't call on me to get names right, y'all.
So hard. It was so hard. But again, I'm just excited to spend a few minutes with you guys. I do this exact same thing on Monday nights with my team. And I'm going to just tell you my story and just weave in some tips and some things I have learned along the way during my journey. So I hope something I say resonates and you can grab a hold of something, even if it's just a little nugget, and it can just help you on your journey. You being here tonight already tells me that you show up. So you are the ones that want it. You're going after it. You show up. And so thank you for that. Thank you for doing that because I feel like, Dawn, we're all about part of this big, huge family called Plexus. So my story began over 7 years ago. And I was a nurse, wife, mom, had been a nurse a little over 20 years. Was married to my high school sweetheart. We had 3 children and we were just living life. And it's amazing that you can work hard and your husband can work hard, but you're living paycheck to paycheck. And that's where were. And a lot of people didn't know that, but we had a son in college, we had a daughter in high school, and then we had a little caboose, Sophie, that was just probably 6 years old when I found Plexus or Plexus found me. So we were living paycheck to paycheck, and my husband lost one of his 2 jobs. He is a pastor, and he's always been bivocational, just meaning he had 2 jobs. And the job that paid a lot and was 50% of our total income, the company filed bankruptcy and went out of business. So basically, he stayed on 6 weeks after the company was going under without a paycheck. So when he walked out the door, we were already 6 weeks behind on everything. And it basically went downhill really fast. we were doing all we could to keep our head above water, but we were struggling. So I was looking for a side gig. Now you can imagine I had 3 kids at home. I was already working about 40, 45 hours a week as a nurse. I was extremely stressed. So although I was in the worst health of my life, I didn't really care about that. Just being honest. I felt horrible. I came home every night from my job at a hospital, put on my pajamas, and usually we got takeout, and I was on the couch by 6:30 to watch Wheel of Fortune. Now, my grandmother loved Wheel of Fortune. We always watched that together, and that was my thing. And it was really a sad existence because all day long, I could not wait to get home. I was doing all the things, drinking tons of coffee. I worked in a medical office, so medical reps would bring wonderful meals almost every day that were absolutely horrible. I see someone shaking their head. So yes, you know about that, all the bad things. But I would just struggle to stay awake, struggle to focus, and then just crash and burn. And so I was at this place when I decided the only thing I could do was get another job on the weekends. And although I didn't want to do it, I saw no other way to help my family. So I got another job on Saturday and Sunday to work at an urgent care clinic. And it really hurt this mama heart because I'd had this dream in the back of my mind, the back of my heart, ever since I had babies, that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but it just wasn't something that was possible. So right before, I'm talking a few days, I took the job, was set to start, and I sat down at the computer just to scroll aimlessly on Facebook. And I saw a post and it stopped me in my tracks. The post said nothing about Plexus products. It said nothing about, do you want to feel better? The post said, would you like to make $500 extra a month for your family? And that's the post that got my attention. So my very first tip, and the very first thing I would say to you guys is you really don't know your Facebook audience. I would say that a lot of them are going through hard times and struggling, but they're not going to put that on social media. You're only going to see the good things. So there's probably somebody on your feed that is struggling just like we were. And that's what stopped me in my tracks. If she had posted about products, I would have scrolled right by. If she had posted about gut health, better health, scrolled right by. Although I was a nurse, I knew very little about gut health. And at the time, I was just not concerned with my health. I was concerned with paying our bills and making sure we didn't lose our home, our cars. So that stopped me. So I reached out to this acquaintance and said, tell me what you're talking about. You just said I could make $500 on my phone. And she had just joined a few weeks prior and could not even tell me what it was. She said, well, it's a diet drink. And I thought, well, I'm at my all-time high weight. I can do that. Can you tell me more? And she couldn't, but she got me in touch with one of her uplines, and the lady's name was Tamra Holloway. Y'all probably know Tamra. Tamra at the time was an Emerald, and I'll never forget the phone conversation. It was on my lunch break. I was sitting in my doctor's office because he was gone, and she just started telling me about the company, and she really built some belief that I could do this and that it was simple. And y'all, that's another tip. Sometimes we like to overcomplicate things and just give someone all the things when they're just wanting some hope. They're just wanting to know if they can do it. So she told me, you can do this, Datha. And I said, well, what do I have to do? She said, basically, all you have to do is just take the products, develop a testimony, and tell people about it. So I'm like, well, I can do that. So she made it really simple for me. I know a lot of times I'm guilty of this. I'm so excited and passionate about Plexus. Someone will ask me about it and I'll give them all the things, way too much information. And I think people want to know one thing: if it's products or business, will it work for me? So you're just there to tell them, yes, it will. This will work for you. Give people little baby steps, hold their hand. That's what Tamra did. She encouraged me to give it 1 year. She told me that, it was a process, that it wasn't something that would happen quick. And so I started, had no clue what I was doing, no MLM experience at all. And I just started having results on the products. And after 3 months or 3 weeks, excuse me, I don't remember if it was Tamara or my sponsor that really didn't know anything, asked me if I would share on social media. So at the time, there was not even any Facebook Lives. It was just basically you made a video and posted it. So I remember standing in my front yard and making a video probably 15 times. I was so nervous just to say I had lost 6 pounds in 3 weeks and I felt better. I had more energy, but that's what I did. So basically that was my strategy. Although I had no clue what I was doing, my strategy was to take the products and let people know how I felt. And well, heck, it worked. I put my husband on the products and he started feeling better. My issues were poor gut health that caused horrible insomnia. I had been on medication for insomnia for about 7 years. I also had acid reflux, daily headaches, chronic fatigue, had gained weight. My husband had IBS. He had diverticulitis, and he had been diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. So in my mind, I thought, he really needs the products worse than me. I'm going to basically force him to take it, and I'm going to tell his testimony too. And so he agreed because he realized he did not feel good and he started taking the products. And within just a few months, I mean, all his issues went away. His IBS that he had struggled with for years went away. His blood sugars leveled out for the first time in years. And the most dramatic change, I would say, is that he had seen my surgeon that I worked for twice for diverticulitis. He had had 2 flares back to back. And the surgeon had told him, 1 more flare and you're going to be a candidate for surgery where we're going to remove part of your colon. And I think in his 40s, that was his big aha moment that maybe I need to try this stuff. Now, both of us, we had never taken supplements, either one. And I look back on it, I'm like, I've been a nurse 22 years. This doesn't really make sense. But I worked for a surgeon and we just treated the symptoms. We didn't treat root causes or he would have went out of business. We treated those symptoms. And so I just basically fell in love with the products and was very passionate because they worked. So it was so simplistic, you guys. I think we make it so hard sometimes for people. I think falling in love with the products, making it simplistic was just something that I just passionately started sharing and people heard it. I mean, I was signing up people at my doctor's office. I was signing up friends, family. I had a few really good friends that I just said, come to my house and sign up. I want you to do this with me. So in the beginning, I thought, and looking back, it was just God. Absolutely. I thought, I have a few people that I just love dearly that I want to do this with me. And one was my best friend since basically birth. She's also my cousin who lived in Indiana. And I started calling her. So let me encourage you, if there's somebody in your life that you love and just want to do this with you, just reach out to them. I mean, they're not going to quit loving you. And I would not do this with everybody, but those I know loved me, was in my life. I encourage them almost to the point of bugging them. Please do this with me. I had one cousin, her husband said, if you mention it to her one more time, we're going to kill you. So that was pretty much, I didn't mention it to her again. But Tammy, she was on stage a couple of years ago. If y'all were at the last convention we had, you remember a tall, beautiful brunette in a hot pink jumpsuit that stood up and talked for the Emeralds. She actually went Emerald during a cancer journey. And Tammy is my best friend. She's also my Emerald level 1. So that's another little tip. Just be bold, until they tell you to stop. And that was really a part of my journey. So the next thing that really solidified a love of Plexus for me is winning Silver Star. Now, I'm not saying you have to try to go after or push to win Silver Star, but it was the experience of the event. So do everything you can to get to an event, to get your people to an event. It will absolutely change everything. And it has for me. And I know it's hard. We beg and plead and ask for people to come on team calls. to go on trips, to go to convention, because we realize there's something special. We're not just a supplement company. We're a family, and we have absolutely the most incredible culture. So seeing the culture firsthand and getting to be around people in the company, we got to sit with Alec and Tarl and have dinner one night. My husband was with me, and this was about 8 months in that this happened. And we walked away from that completely determined and committed to Plexus for life. So that's one of my biggest tips, and something that I just try. And I know it's hard, but just keep trying, keep pressing. If you can't get people to go to an event, host an event yourself. Every single year, me and my power partner, except last year because crazy pandemic, we've always hosted things that were convenient that people could go to, and it made a huge difference. My main leg is in Indiana. I'm in Alabama. So we picked Tennessee because it's very central. And we host a couple times a year. We'll host something, a retreat. A lot of times we make it where you can just buy in. You don't have to earn it, because some people will connect to Plexus and connect to you and connect to your team just because of the culture and the friendships. Now, for me, I wanted a business. I wanted a business. Some people want to help people. They love to help people. Some people just love the community. So we have to reach out to all of our personality types, no matter what color they are or what number on the Enneagram they are, and have things that they can connect to. Everyone is going to connect for a different reason. So we left Silver Star. I came home. At that point, I really had a lot of vision because of the event. It was the event that gave me the vision. The products and my husband's testimony and my testimony and feeling better gave me a lot of passion. But there's something different about catching the vision. And sometimes it takes more than just taking a product to catch the vision. It takes being in a room with a lot of people and things are electric and you're listening to a speaker and you have this aha moment. So I had this aha moment and I came home and I told my husband, I think I can be Emerald. And he said, well, I think you can too. He's very supportive. And I set a goal. I told my whole family about it because I knew this was going to mean I had to do the work. And at the time, I still had 3 children at home and I was still working full time. But I caught the vision. So I had a meeting with my kids, especially my 2 daughters. My son was older. He was graduated. He was already in college, kind of doing his own thing, but my 2 daughters were still in the home. So I let them know it's going to look a little different for a while, at night. And when after we eat, instead of us having family time or sitting around, I'll be present in the room, but mom will be on her phone. I wanted them to know that I was not ignoring them by being on my phone, that I was working toward a vision for my family. And I told them, when this happens, we're going to do something great together. My baby, I think, was 7. And so Dollywood in Tennessee was a huge deal to her. So I'm like, I knew I was going to go to Hawaii, but she was fine with Dollywood. So I'm like, when mama makes this big goal, we're going to go somewhere great. So she got behind me and started making posters. She was all in. So if you have a big goal, share it with your family, your husband, your children, your grandchildren, whoever that is, and let them in on the ride. Let them know what you're trying to do. I was really worried they would think I was going to be ignoring them, because that's a huge deal right now, to be on your phone a lot when you're with your family. But sometimes there's a necessary sacrifice. And you have to decide if the necessary sacrifice is worth it to you. And for me, it was, because I felt like if I could hit Emerald, I could quit my job and I could work from home. And that had always been a deep-seated desire of mine. So that was, and basically we hear it as a why. And it sounds so cheesy. Know your people's why. And I look at it as just this deep-seated desire. And I wanted to be home so bad, the necessary sacrifice was worth it. So I worked really hard. I can remember coming home from work in my scrubs, changing and driving to a meeting. The day I won Silver Star, that night, I won. I found out at work. I wanted to be with my family to celebrate, but I had scheduled a meeting 45 minutes away. So I changed clothes, drove 45 minutes away, had my meeting. So the necessary sacrifice is worth it if you keep that end goal in mind and your vision is really firm and you have a deep seated belief in all those things I did. So all these dominoes lined up, and in May of 2015, after 13 months with Plexus, I hit Emerald. One of the most exciting things ever that I'd worked for. Incredible, wonderful team. And there I was for 4.5 years. 4.5 years. Wonderful place to be. Beautiful. Beautiful. Sunshine, roses, rainbows, unicorns. But I had a lot of personal growth to do. A lot. And so I was very complacent as well because I'd worked really hard. So I would say if you're stuck, there's one way to get unstuck, and that's tons of personal growth, as much personal growth as possible. And I'm talking about all the things, reading all the books, doing all the things. A year and a half ago, I hired a health coach. I was Emerald, hired a health coach because I had let myself gain weight. I wasn't feeling my best. I also decided I wanted to go see a life coach because I had been at a Plexus event where I had met a life coach. His name was Preston Pugmire. I bet Dawn knows who that is. And I sat in a training with him and I thought, I want to go to a life coach. So we found a life coach locally. And after the first meeting, I was like, I want to be a life coach. So in the middle of my life coach certification, it was a 1-year program. And in the middle of hiring a health coach is when I went Sapphire. At that time, I got hooked up with Brooke Hemingway, started doing all of her momentum movements. And I hit Sapphire during that time and started to fall back into the complacency thing. And Brooke, who I think of as a coach, one of my coaches, really encouraged me to get up, do the work, and keep going. If it hadn't been for her, I probably would have thought there's no possible way I can go diamond 2 months later. But I did. 2 months. So after 4.5 years of Emerald, we went, the team went Sapphire of June of last year. And then in August, we hit diamond. And I owe it all to my Lord and Savior, because he saw that I had this dream and he used Plexus as a funnel to make my dream come true. And he gave me this passion for personal development. So if you feel stuck in any way, do all the things. It may cost some money, but that's the necessary sacrifice. It may cost time, but that's the necessary sacrifice. And what's so awesome is you get to decide. You get to decide if it's worth it. You get to decide if it's what you want. And, maybe you're where you want to be. That's super important. Not everybody wants to be diamond or emerald. A lot of people are really stinking happy at gold, and we need to celebrate that with them. Ask them the questions. Don't just decide that you want it for them, but ask them the questions and see what they want. The right answer. Now, I know you're thinking of somebody on your team that you think might be stuck. Put that person in your head and know that the best thing for them is for you to ask them the right question. The best answer is the right question. So ask those questions and just let them know wherever you are on your journey, I'm here for you. I support you. I want what you want. And I think we can make a lot of headway, because I hear a lot that people are stuck. And I think it's because we don't ask the right questions. The question for me was, are you worth personally developing? Are you worth the money that's going to take? It took money to hire a health coach. It took money to hire a life coach. We need to get rid of that scarcity mindset, because when you believe you're worth it, then you invest the money and it always comes back. It always comes back. So I've been diamond since August 30th of last year, and it's been incredible. I'm continuing to personally grow. My business is up and down. This is the business that we have. It's always up and down, and you need to love it, have that deep-seated passion for it, and believe in yourself. Be all in, do the things. There's no secret. There's no secret. Do all the things, be all in, love it, have a passion for it. If you've lost your passion, find it. And that's it.
There we go. Well, that was a lot and it was amazing. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So many good nuggets. So when you say like that personal development, so you hired what were some other things that you did? Like you would say, like what direction did you go to really dig into that personal development?
For me, it was for the health side of it. I thought if I have a health business and I'm a health coach, I need to be healthy. So I hired a girl in Colorado. So that just meant a monthly payment that I made her to be on all of her Zooms. She did weekly Zooms to teach about health and food. My life coach was more of a spiritual life coach, but I would say other than that, reading, devouring books. And if you've not read this book, it's sitting on my office desk, Win the Day.
Oh, I haven't read that.
It is, and this is so good because my husband is still the senior pastor at our church, and I have developed a leadership curriculum with him for our leaders at our church. And this is a book that our leaders at church read too. It's so good. I'm like, read this too. It is incredible. So my team has read it, so I would say books and podcast. I try to read 3 books a month. That's my goal. That's pretty high. No, I couldn't do that when I was working full time. There's no way. But just even if you can read 1 a month, that was huge for me for personally developing is books.
Absolutely. I love it. So important. I am with you all the way. Awesome. Well, do you have just a minute if anybody has a question?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody have a question you want to ask? Anyone want to say? Questions are good, guys.
I bet this lady right here, beautiful brunette in these glasses like mine, is medical. Are you medical? Because you were shaking your head at a lot of stuff I said. Yeah.
Yes.
Michelle, yes, she's a nurse.
Nurse, okay.
But what my situation was, I got married older, so we had children older. My husband's a surgeon, and so I had this high-powered job, and then got married and had 3 kids. The youngest I had when I was 40, and so then I stayed home for 18 years, and then I was starting to look, the oldest was in college, and I was starting to look for things to do. And Dawn was persistent, let's put it that way. And it was like all this stuff. I had put out 2 applications. I always tell people, to Chico's and Whole Foods.
Oh, Chico's.
I don't even know if they got them because now everything was online. So it was such a weird time. And so, and then recently, within the last couple of years, because I've been with Plexus 7 years, and let's just say it's been a long and windy road, and Dawn's been persistent and he hasn't given up.
Ruby, Michelle's a Ruby.
Oh, that's incredible.
Ruby?
Yeah, well,
that's incredible.
So, yeah, so, yeah, the whole nurse thing is interesting because I think people assume that it's to your benefit in Plexus, but it worked against me because I was hesitant to share because I felt like I had this reputation to uphold and nobody was going to really get supplements. And then, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we all, I was hesitant to share because my husband was a pastor.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I share at church, I don't want people to think that they have to do this with me or they're forced to do this with me. So I just didn't share at church. It was very simple. I shared on my social media. If they had a question about it, they let me know. So I think we all have those things that hold us back, no matter if we're a teacher or a surgeon's wife or a nurse or a pastor's wife or whatever we are. I think there's always this reservation and this mindset that has to shift. I deal with it all the time. that how do you share? I talked to a lady today, I don't really want to put products on my news feed. Well, then you're not at a place where you believe in the products enough, because if you believe that they really changed lives, you would be fine putting it on your news feed. So I think it's all about personal growth and finding out what works best for you, no matter what area you're in.
Yeah. I mean, I believe like if you're just really passionate and have like unshakable belief, people can feel that.
Yeah.
Come across as odd or like offensive or trying to push something, right? Like when it's coming from our heart, we just know it's the real deal, you know?
My husband has even shared in front of a big event that we did.
Yeah, we need to do that again. That was awesome.
And he just basically, you know, the surgeon, and it was so funny. He's like, I don't really know a lot about these ingredients. All I can tell you is it works. It works. You know, because he had profound results with nerve and ease. And so, yeah.
Yeah, my husband had great results with those two products as well, because he had a lot of issues from his diabetes with a nerve pain and neuropathy in his elbows. And it was in his elbows. Usually you don't have a neuropathy or deadness in your elbows, but that was the first place he did. And that was the first thing he noticed when he was taking the products, that started to go away. So that's really cool that your husband's a surgeon.
Yes, when we used to be, it's like a long time ago when we did events.
Yeah, I felt like I was married to my surgeon, so I felt kind of like he was my husband too.
When you said you worked in the office with a surgeon, I was like, oh God.
I did everything. I was his personal nurse, so I basically ran his life, ran his calendar. I could not be off unless he was off. I mean, he was amazing to me, but you know, having to work so much because he was just starting his practice, I missed everything. I missed a trip to Disney World with my kids, y'all. So I was determined that I made this work.
It's hard.
Sure did. I love it.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I have to jump on another call, Dawn.
Yeah. Any other? Well, let's let you go. You've been amazing and been such a blessing to us. So thank you. Your story is so good.
You're welcome. And anybody on here, if you have a question, just reach out for me on Facebook. There's not many Datha Whitfields on Facebook. I'm sure you can find me. I'll be happy to answer anything.
Bye. Mwah, mwah. Bye.
Love you, friend.
Hang out for just a second. We'll go over like what the stuff that we got going on. Hold on. Let me change view so I can see everybody. I had her as my. Oh, almost up. Well, I guess I'll keep the recording going. That way anybody that's watching will get the whole thing. All right, you guys. So thank you guys for showing up. I think it's so important that when we have speakers that we show up, because it's their time and energy with nothing to gain. And so when when we show up in numbers and we show just a respect thing. So thank you. I want to just say thank you guys all for being here live and taking time out of your night to do that. So thank you. I love hearing, I don't know about you guys, I just think it's so awesome when we get to hear from others, especially that, we kind of hear their stories, different perspectives, and what's really neat is when we get to be in person, right, and go to events, then you know them. You're like, I remember you in our team call, and it's just really fun to be able to connect. So I'm trying to line up some more guest speakers through the month of June. So if you have any ideas or you know somebody that you really want to hear from, shoot me a message and I'll see. You never know, they can hop on and share with us. All right, so you guys, it is the end of the month. We've been calling this Magic Week, end of the month. And what's so special about the end of this month is that we're launching into June with the brand new compensation plan. So us being really committed to finishing strong, so important. I just want to stress that. So, and of course I get it. Like, oh, it's Memorial Day weekend and I want to play. I'm just going to challenge everybody to look at the next few days, look at what your family time is going to be, what your parties are going to be, where you're going to be, and really try to time block in some time to really work your business, to do those follow-ups, to close out the month, to send those messages. We're going to do tonight actually at 9:00, corporate's doing an opportunity call, which is great. Corporate's going to start doing that for us every Tuesday and Thursday, 9:00 Eastern, which is a little late, but that's, they're trying to work with everybody. throughout the company. So I think we really want to leverage those because they're doing a great job. They've got testimonies, Genevieve, who's great at presenting the products and the opportunity. So really leverage those and use those and just invite people. Anytime you can just say, hey, check it out. Hey, check it out. Hey, check it out. You can send mass messages, get people to check it out. One thing I did when I was sending my messages, I was offering samples and just saying, hey, and I'll send you a free sample, so you're kind of giving them a little bit of extra value. So that's happening tonight at 9. So hop on. Hopefully you guys send some messages and have some people coming. Tomorrow night, we're going to do another messenger party. We did one last night. It was our first time for our team. And it was great. Kim, thank you very much for running that and making that run really smoothly. So we're going to do another one tomorrow at 7. They're so simple. Okay. They're 15 minutes information. People are just on there. They can read it. They can watch a video. They can interact. And then of course, what's the most important part? The most important part is afterwards, the follow-up. The follow-up. So when you have somebody there, then you immediately want to have your time free after the 15 minutes to be able to go back and personal message and hopefully get them on the phone, get them enrolled and all that good stuff. So we're going to do that on Friday. And then I've talked to some of you guys throughout the weekend. We're looking at doing maybe some more messenger parties. I've heard of some of you guys that say you're going to do those, like do some lives together, like do some lives and then message people after the lives. So I just wanted to like everybody, kind of challenge you to think outside the box a little bit. Like, what can I do in the next few days to really get people like to get in action mode and to get people looking at the products, looking at the opportunity, so I can really close out really, really strong. Something else that we wanted to do, this is going to be really fun. On Monday, which will be the 31st, it's the last day of the month. We're actually going to get together at the office, the IIP office. And so maybe everybody just kind of bring food, bring snacks, bring cheese. Lisa has to bring me cheese. I'm just kidding. And Michelle, you bring your wine. No. Anyway, and what we're going to do is just kind of all get together and we're going to work our month together. Because understanding how to really close out a month, because we're doing this as a business, right? We're doing this, we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs, we want to have that kind of mindset. And so it's like closing out your month strong. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get together and we're going to work it and we're going to show each other and model that, what that looks like. And then I hope that it goes well. And then maybe this is something that we can continue to kind of do every month, right? And so, somebody's working on a rank up, we're going to be right there with them to help them get that. Somebody, we've got point goals that we're going to be working on. And so anyway, so we're going to do that on Monday. So
is there any way we could set up like somebody's phone, or everybody kind of needs their phones, but if people could bring laptops or something and set up a phone to film it, because so many people on our team are out of town, and one of them recently commented, because I just posted a quick video of the other night, and he hasn't been really that active lately, and she commented, "Oh, I'm jealous." So, that's really cool if we can.
I don't see why we couldn't do like a Zoom.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
And we'll just kind of bring a laptop and
we can kind of just keep it open and they can
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's really, absolutely, for people that can't, we have a lot of people in North Carolina. I know we've got some people in Maryland, so for sure.
Hey, Dawn.
Yeah.
This is Kathy. I'm sorry. I really missed the first part of that event that you're just discussing. Could you repeat them?
So it would be on Monday, the 31st. So it's the last day of the month. So we want to get together and just kind of have a work time. So I said we would bring snacks and, like bring food and have fun together, but work together to close out our month. So I want to like kind of model what that looks like, when you've got your back office and you're looking at your points and you're looking at like who's there and making phone calls and following up, and we're kind of doing it together. We do it when we have big rank ups. Like we did it when we went Sapphire last August. that was super intense. I don't expect it to be quite that. Well, maybe it could be. That was like exhausting. But I'd like to like do that every month as a team. It's because we're gonna have, like Kathy is gonna, it's time for Kathy to go senior silver, and we're all rallying behind you, and we're showing you what that looks like. And Debbie's going senior gold, and anyway, so yeah, that makes sense. So I'll put out a time, figure out a time.
It's really helpful for all of us. It doesn't matter where you are, because it changes, the stakes change, the numbers change, so all the things that you do to get to where you are is helpful for us to be able to see.
When we're together, it's like that energy of each other. You're not just at your computer at 11 o'clock at night trying to close out your month. That's no fun. Like, let's make it fun. Let's be that team that just like finishes strong, that has big goals and wants to like, that's who we are. That's who we are.
Dawn, can you explain a little bit about the messenger parties?
Sure.
Like how to set one up and what does it involve? Is it themed? I don't understand that.
Yeah, totally. So we did one last night and we called it the gut health chat. Were you, did you do it with us?
I wasn't on it, and that's why I want to know about it.
Yeah. So we called it the gut health chat, and anybody that wanted to be on it, we added people from the team, and then it was easy for people from the team to add their friends. So it was like, hey, I'm going to do this. It's quick, 15 minutes information. I'll add you to the messenger chat. Does that sound good? Your friend says, okay, sure. So you add them to it. And then it's just basically templated. So, and Kim actually is on right now. If you can, Kim, add Martha to it so she can see. And it's just like, this is what Plexus is. This is what the pink drink is. And then maybe like a video, like watch this quick video that talks about gut health. And then, so it's just basically information, but it's quick and easy, and people are just watching.
All right.
It's very non-committal. We're not people get on Zoom. We're not asking people to go to a Facebook group. It's just easy.
Okay.
So anybody can do it, like you can do it for you. Like you and Elizabeth could do it together. You, me and Elizabeth, like team up with people. It doesn't have to be a whole big team thing.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Teacher group too, just heads up, my 23-year-old son who's been teaching out in LA, I forgot to ask him, and I told him about it last night. I said, I'm just going to invite you, Seth, take, do it at your own, so it's going to stay open, right?
Yeah. I mean, it won't go anywhere.
It's so non-threatening to do something like that. I said, if you have a second tonight, just browse through the posts at your leisure. And he's actually really taking gut health on, who the hell knows why, as kind of an area of interest right now. And so he thought it was really cool. And so I'm going to reach out to a couple more teacher friends and just say, hey, if you're interested, I'll send you a invite, look for it, and you can just take your time. And, just that whole thing of you're not being seen. You can browse at your leisure while you're sitting on the beach this weekend, whatever, get that information. And the other thing that I just wanted to mention that I think was so profound about what Datha just said, and it came up in the teacher group. Here you have professionals working big jobs, very experienced professionals who, the gal that the video in the teacher group that could not afford daycare for 3 kids, Datha, who they were living paycheck to paycheck. Her husband had 2 jobs and she had to get a second job. I mean, I think those kind of things, if we can get more people to hear, whatever, I don't know, maybe like those Facebook interviews that you do live or something with somebody like that. It doesn't have to be long, but it can just be, well, one of the reasons I was interested was because here we were, 4 jobs between the 2 of us. And we still were paycheck to paycheck.
That's so good. And we were doing those for a while. We were doing those lives, like dual live interviews from Brooke and Emily. So that's another good thing, like over the weekend, as you're thinking about like, what can I do to kind of do, like get into action mode and close out strong and do those interviews are great. And we can interview each other. I mean, it doesn't have to be somebody, you know what I'm saying? So just, yeah. All right, good. Anybody have anything else before we close out? Share anything going on or any questions?
I just would like to know where I could find maybe some, I mean, I see a lot of graphics for the products themselves. I need some graphics maybe for the business opportunity. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I will.
Hey, Kathy, are you a part of the Instagram page, the Plexus Instagram page? Kathy?
Access photos, Instagram photos or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if
Yes,
she
I
heard.
am. Yes,
Oh, okay.
I am. Yeah.
Sometimes there's stuff in there, but I'll be on the lookout too and send some your way.
Yeah, I've kind of scrolled through that. I have the One Plexus Instagram stories, and then I have the One Plexus photos and graphics or whatever.
Okay.
Too. Yeah.
Those are
That's
often
good.
pretty photographs that I think are fun to add your own stuff to. But I think if you go into stories, a lot of the bigger players, or big players, whatever, they'll do a lot of business related stuff, and I just screenshot the heck out of those for future.
Okay. All righty. I'll go back and look at those, scroll through that a little bit more. All right, thanks.
I have income graphics I'm looking, but I'll look through mine too. See. Business testimonies are always good. We can find, like people's stories too. But
Okay. And are we putting, does everybody generally put like stories on their Instagram? I mean, I'm getting more comfortable with the sort of Instagram story post things, and I'm doing some lives on Instagram. Not completely comfortable with sort of video type stuff on Instagram, but just kind of needing to get a little feel for that. And then I guess I need to flip over a little bit and maybe do some more on Facebook to separate. I had somebody the other day that kind of mentioned to me that not to share my Instagram stories with my Facebook feed because it kind of messes up the algorithms a little bit, but try to keep
all the time.
Yeah, but she said something about that because they're not the same thing. It's better to kind of separate them out because because I had my Instagram set up to share with my Facebook feed too, story feed at the same time. But she said there's something about it messes up the algorithm. So if you do it separately, more people will see it.
It might be a type of thing. Sometimes I'll do something on one day, and then a week later I'll do it in the other.
Yeah. So I meant to ask my son about that. He's a digital marketing kind of guy, so I need to ask him about that.
Yeah, let us know. Maybe he could do training for us.
Also heard from some marketing, like different people I follow or that I've had trainings with. Like they feel, I've heard this said that it's like stories are really good for hiding your advertising in. But whereas people are over seeing people sell stuff on a post, an actual post. So that's what I've been kind of doing more, but it's really off the cuff. And I will tell you, I'm trying to follow my edict of done is better than perfect. And I did such a disastrous.
Good, I love it.
On Insta last week, my daughter goes, she's trying to be really sweet. I think you shared your reels to your feed. And I was like, yeah, I know I did that, but I don't know how that happened. And I just have to forget about it and get over it. And that's where they're sitting. So I think
my personal favorite is posting the same thing like 2 or 3 times in a row. That's what I've been doing this week.
Or when I tried to do a reel and the audio, like was all jacked up. It's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, you're not alone, Michelle. Don't worry. There's lots of lots of that.
I've done that, Amy, because I'll be in a place like I've been in Charlottesville. I happened before, and it's not posting.
Right.
Posting it, and then later that night, I'd have it like 4 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh well.
We've all been there, but we're progress, not perfection.
This is how you learn, right?
Some of you guys are pretty good, though. I have to say. Lisa's got good stories, and Kim, and you guys were good. Better than me. I just think it's so much, but so good. All right, guys. So let's close out. Prayer. Does anybody have anything they want to? Like a prayer request or anything they are comfortable?
Hey, Dawn, this is Crystal.
Hey.
I do. I have an unspoken graduation is on Sunday, and
Okay.
that's all I'm gonna say. But you know, I'm
Yeah.
just ready for the devil to go away. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. We are with you, girl. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Dawn, if I could add Mackenzie. Mackenzie's in Florida with her boyfriend and some friends. And she had a very freaky accident occur the day that they were there, that they got there at the Airbnb. And she actually went through a plate glass window.
Oh gosh.
And so she ended up having some surgery done yesterday. Thank God, I mean, there's so many different scenarios that could have occurred. She has quite a few lacerations on her legs, and she did end up with a head laceration as well. But thank God she is okay. No severe tendon, muscle, artery kind of things, just a lot of stitches and things like that. She did have to undergo surgery with a plastic surgeon to get some of the wounds stitched up. But so she's fine. She's stayed down there with her friends. She's still kind of enjoying her vacation. She's so resilient, such a trooper, such a strong young lady. But if we could just pray for her continued healing and that kind of thing, that would be great. So.
And your mama heart, my gosh.
Oh my gosh, her being 700 miles away, I can't even explain it. So yeah.
That's hard. That's your baby's going through that and you can't get to her.
Yep.
Gracious. Absolutely. I see yours, Margie. Let's see anybody else in the chat. It's for my family and my daughter. Okay. Well, I'm going to close this out. So, Lord, we just come to you tonight, always in gratitude, always first grateful for one another, grateful for our community and our family that we have here. Thank you for all of these wonderful people that give me so much, that add so much goodness and positivity and healing to my personal life. And we just lift up right now Crystal and her daughter and graduation and everything that her family is facing, Lord, and the ones that she shared, and also the unspoken, Lord, that you would protect her in white light, and her daughter in that white light and that bubble, and that they would be protected, and it would be that we would be coming to the end of the struggle. I pray so much for Margie as her family is going through loss, and her daughter, and so much of what's going on in their family, spoken and unspoken. You would just be with them, Lord, and then we would all just remember our Plexus people and our Plexus family and our prayer and our daily prayers, Lord. We absolutely pray for Mackenzie in Florida. She'd be okay, and that she would be protected, and that she would come home safely to mom, and for Kathy's mama heart to be okay, to have peace. So we're grateful for the protection. She's okay, that it wasn't any worse, Lord. And I know there's probably all of us, or have stuff in our lives that are hard and that we struggle with. So I'm grateful for those that shared, but I want to lift up those that maybe have something on their heart right now. And as we, we're here in the name of Plexus, we're here in the name of health, we're here in the name of helping one another. And we know that there's so many people out there that could use all of these things, plus the love and the community and the positivity that we are. And so I pray right now that we would be light, and we would be like lighthouses, and we would stand in abundance, and that they would be attracted to what we have to offer, and that we would be able to go out and really change lives, and go out there with that passion and that belief that what we have and what we offer and who we are and who we're standing and who we represent makes a difference. It really does make a difference. So I'm grateful. So Lord, thank you for this time. We love you. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Thanks. Mwah. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.